Welcome to Dad Guide. I'm Cooper, and today we're talking about vacations. So vacations, wonderful time of year. You're putting a lot of your hard work into these, a lot of your money, so you want to get the best bang for your buck when you're planning these. So cruising is an option that as a family you might have never tried, you might be interested in it. Is it worth it? Is it the right vacation for you? So I know before I went on a cruise, I had heard of a lot of horror stories about them. And I really wasn't sure. I kind of got talked into it as a family. My son has different allergies, some fairly serious food allergies that we need to be very cautious with. So that was one of the reasons we chose to go cruising in the first place. It's a much more controlled environment. You don't have to worry about any kind of language barriers. There's all the different things that you need. So this is why we did that. There's doctors on board, so if there is a medical incident, you should have good care in the process. So that was what kind of swayed me over to try it. So is it worth it? Did I like it? Is it going to be the right fit for your family? So the first off, you have to remember when you're going cruising, typically you're going to need to be there a day before you leave. If you're flying in, this means you're probably gonna have to book an overnight stay at a hotel close to the port. So that's something you wanna keep in mind when you're tallying up the expenses, that you're going to probably have 1, maybe 2 hotel stays extra. So that's something that you have to watch out for. When you go cruising itself, you have multiple different cruise lines to choose from. And I think this is probably the most important thing when you're planning a cruise, is you need to do research on the ship itself. You're going to have your port days, which are a lot of fun. But the cruise ship itself can be just an amazing experience. It's a family. We've sailed on most, if not all, of the family cruise lines now, and we have a good experience on all of them, but definitely some are just a higher notch of service for children, and they have a little bit more services, so as a parent, you can enjoy them as well. So some of the things that you're going to get on a cruise that I really think are beneficial for a family that we enjoyed are, you get the water parks. The food is typically amazing. There's a lot of restaurants that are included, so you can research this ahead of time. Most cruises aren't going to include your alcohol packages, so if this is something you are partaking in, definitely look up the costs ahead of time, because almost always the beverage packages are almost needed if you are going to be drinking. Definitely weigh the cost there. But you have water parks, you have play parks. Overall, it's a very safe and controlled environment. You don't have to worry about somebody wandering off. There's not a lot of places they can go. Obviously, you still need to watch your kids. You are on a floating ship in oceans, so there are things that can go wrong, but it's a very rare occurrence. And if you're paying attention, or if you have your kids with the staff in one of the different programs they have for children, you're not going to have to worry about this. And that's what I love. My son, he is extremely active. We've done cruises at the ages of just under 2 and just under 3. So he just always wants to go. And that's my favorite thing about cruise ships. There's almost always something going on. There's something new they can do. There's lots of programs, there's lots of games. So it's just a very fun experience. And you have a lot of different programs that you can put them in, scavenger hunts, anything like that, that just always keeps them occupied. There's different parades. There's just so much going on these ships. So I have pretty much switched where I used to enjoy either going to an Airbnb or a hotel or an all-inclusive to avoid winter in Canada. So we switched to cruising, and I've really found it to be an awesome experience. So overall, I definitely recommend giving it a try. If you are worried about it, if you suffer from motion sickness, definitely look into different medications you can take, because I personally do, and without them I couldn't cruise. So that's something you do need to keep in mind. And the next thing I want to talk about is the shows. So there's a lot of nightlife on cruise ships. When you research ahead of time, you can see the different shows that are going to be interested in for the whole family. My son went to a couple shows with us. We did go with our grandparents, or his grandparents, so we could have some family time as well. And the shows, he loved them, even the ones that were probably much older than you would expect he would like. Some of the musicals, they're just so engaging that most families are just going to all be able to go to them together. And I think that's what sets apart cruising from other types of vacations, is just the entertainment factor is really a next level. So it's just really amazing. Food in itself, it's always good. If you do have a little one who suffers from food allergies, you can always talk to the staff. You can put these in the notes ahead of time, and you don't have to worry about it that you would if you're always going to a buffet or anything like that. You can have your set dining time and you can just go. They know ahead of time. You have the same server every night.